What is up, guys? Welcome back to another day. So today we're going to be focusing on flexion on our spine as well as in our hips, which is better known as forward fold in yoga. The main areas that we're going to be targeting is all the posterior part of our body, which is going to be all our back, our lumbar spine, our hamstrings. We're going to touch a little bit on the hips as well as our calf. So join me for this one. You're going to need a block, maybe to modify some of the poses, so make sure you have one in hand. And without further ado, let's begin. We're gonna begin in a child's pose, just to catch up our breathing a little bit. Put your knees a little bit about the width of your mat and your toes touching together. Now begin to walk your hands forward and relax your head. Move side to side to find any tightness that you may have today. Relax your head, put it in the mat. Begin focusing your attention on your breathing. Long inhalations through the nose and long exhalations through the nose as well. Release the tension on your low back. Maybe walk your hands a little forward, send your hips a little backwards. When you're ready, slowly come up. Wanna keep in this kneeling position. Now bring your knees together. You can be on plantar flexion of the feet or in dorsiflexion, or better known as just pointing your toes or putting your toes like this, flexing your toes. This one is a little bit more comfortable, but I encourage you to go right here and inhale, lift your chest as high as you possibly can. Put your hands behind your neck. And we're going to round, beginning from our neck, going all the way towards our lumbar spine. So from here, exhale by flexing from the neck, getting a soft stretch in the back of the neck. Move side to side, keep the attention on your breathing. Now begin to round a little more. Imagine that your elbows want to touch your hips. Round back a little more. Inhale up. We're gonna go for 2 dynamics movements of those. So inhale, chest up. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, spine to neutral, and exhale, round your spine. Now inhale back to neutral and go into a standing. We're gonna begin with a soft standing forward fold, but we're gonna put our feet at about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit closer. You don't have to be too wide. Inhale, lift your chest up, grab both elbows. Now flex, keeping your back flat as much as you possibly can. You can do a slightly bend on your knees, and from here begin to round, not rounding back but rounding forward like a huge C until you feel the stretch, until you can go. Then once you're here, relax your neck and move side to side, add a little bit of movement. Find the place where you have more tightness. Maybe bend one knee at a time to focus on one hamstring at a time. Keep sending your hips up and back with a anterior pelvic tilt. If you can rest your hands in the ground, go ahead and do so. Move again side to side. In yoga, we tend to do so many static poses, but we're always moving, even if you're doing a static pose. And There is no point in holding a static pose that is uncomfortable. So if you feel uncomfortable on a static pose, try to add a little bit of movement. It's never a bad thing. We're going to inhale and we're going to raise one vertebra at a time. So lift your hands. If your hands are on the floor, slowly make a deep inhalation all the way to standing, and roll your shoulders back. Now we're going to go back to flexion, one vertebra at a time, exhaling. Now inhale one more time. Deep inhalation. The inhalation should last all the movement going up, shoulders back, and the exhalation should last all the movement coming down. Now twist the right foot to the front of the mat. The back foot is going to go a little bit backwards, and it's going to be a 45-degree angle for this triangle pose. From here, square your hips forward. Inhale, lift your chest, fall, keeping your back flat until you really feel the stretch right here. You can put your hands on your shin. You can use the block to support your hands. Keep extending through your spine. Like, I don't want you to round back, but keep extending so you really feel the stretch on your hamstrings until you tilt your pelvis. Once you feel that stretch, slowly begin to round and find that position where you feel the stretch, where you can observe your body, where it's not too painful, but it's also not too comfortable. If you need to remove the block, you can do that. Now I want you to flex your foot so we get a little bit of stretch as well in our calf. We're gonna add some dynamic movement going forward, only 5 times, very slow and control. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now go back to center with both feet facing to the side of the mat. You're still on this forward fold. Now inhale, lift your chest a little bit higher, fall a little bit more, rock side to side, go towards the left, go towards the right, left, and right. Once again, you can put a block. If your hands doesn't get to here, I don't want you to open up your legs way too much, because we're really trying to focus on the hamstrings, and if you open it that way too much, we're going to be putting more emphasis on the inner hips. From here, we're going to do the same triangle pose to the other side. So twist the left foot facing to the back of the mat. The right foot is 45 degrees. Stand up. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fall, keeping your back flat. And whenever you're ready, begin folding, sucking your belly in to create space between your quads and your abdomen. Then keep rounding forward until you can place your hands right here. Relax your neck or your hands on the mat if you are already here. Remember that it doesn't matter how the pose looks, it just matters how the pose feels for you today, because it's going to be different tomorrow. Flex your foot towards you. Now try to get the head towards your toes, even though that might seem impossible. You can place one block in one hand or 2 blocks to be a little bit more comfortable. Let's go for 5 of those dynamic folds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's go back to center. Now we're gonna go into lizard lunge. This one here, even though we're folding forward, our back leg is on extension. So even though this is a forward folding class, it's almost like impossible to divide your body in positions. There is always going to be something that is extending and something that is flexing, and this is one of those cases. Your toes can be flexed, or you can point your toes. We're gonna do dynamically. So place your hands on the mat, and you're gonna lift Actually, untuck your toes. You're gonna lift your knee and then do little poses forward, very slow and controlled for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, and 8. Now try to hold it here, add a little bit of movement. Now from here, put the right foot in the middle of both hands and the right hand outside of that. Then bring the foot back for plank pose. Now lower down, chaturanga, inhale for upward facing and exhale for downward facing. So hold it here for 3 deep breaths. Once again, we just did upward facing, which is an extension or back bending asana or position. So as I said, it's like almost impossible to just isolate your body when you're doing any type of movement practice. Now bring the left knee in the middle of the hands. Place the left foot in the middle of the hands. Now lower the left knee until it touches the mat. Bring the left hand to the inside of your foot. Inhale, lift your knee. Now exhale, little pulses for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hold it here. If you need a block to be a little bit more comfortable here, you can do that. If you are hyper flexible, you can put your forearms on the mat, create extension through the lumbar spine. Like, I don't want to compress. Even though we're rounding, even though we're flexing, you always want to be extending through your entire spine, so it's not compressing your vertebrae. Basically, that's what causes low back pain, which is a poor yoga practice, I would say, or a poor movement practice. From here, you're gonna bring the right leg, the one that is behind, forward into a squat. You're gonna sink down. If you're gonna get into a squat yet, let me actually go to the middle. If you're gonna sit on a squat yet, you can put a pair of blocks beneath your heels until eventually you can actually get into a squat. From here, we're gonna do dynamically, moving side to side, finding those points where you feel tight. It might be your hips. You might feel pain in your ankle if you lack ankle dorsiflexion. Try to keep your back straight as much as possible. Now from here, we're going to exhale and go into a forward fold, like this. Now we're going to inhale into a squat, exhale, forward fold, inhale, squat or malasana, then exhale, forward fold. Now bring both feet together to touch. Inhale, lift your chest a little higher, fall a little deeper, rock side to side. And slowly bend your knees and get into a seated position for a seated forward fold. Now, if you cannot sit here tall, like this is a 90-degree angle. If you find yourself like going backwards, we recommend to put a block beneath your sit bones, so you can elevate yourself and make the pose a little bit more accessible. And if you are on the other side, which you are super hyper flexible or mobile, then I would put the block right here. That would increment the stretch that you're going to feel in your hamstrings and in your calf and lumbar spine and everything. So inhale, lift your chest. I want you to flex your feet towards you, so we also stretch our calf. Inhale as high as you can go. Exhale, fold. And instead of holding, we're gonna do dynamically. We're gonna round back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Round back. Inhale, fold. You don't need to go all the way down. You can be right here depending on where you feel the stretch. Inhale, exhale, fold. You can also slightly bend your knees. Inhale one more time and exhale, fold. Hold it here for only 3 breaths. We're not doing yin yoga just yet, on this practice at least, which is holding poses longer, but it's always good to hold it for a couple seconds, a couple breaths, and as I said, add a little bit of movement if you feel like it, or if you just feel like relaxing, you can just relax. One more breath. Inhale deeply through the nose. Now exhale through the mouth. Let's do it one more time. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. From here, bring your soles of the feet together. Invert your foot as much as possible, which means doing this motion right here. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, fold as much as you can go. Hold it there for a couple seconds. Then inhale, round. Let's do the same thing. Exhale, fold, keeping your back flat. And then inhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold, and hold in a position that you are uncomfortably comfortable, if that makes sense. One day you might be here, one day you might be here, one day you might be here, and that's the beauty of the yoga practice, is you are always different in every single day, in every single second. If you do this exact same routine on a different time of the day, you're going to feel different depending on what you eat, how much you sleep, your stress level. Also, stretching is something that it's a lot about the CNS and your nervous system. So if you're going way too deep, or if you are forcing too much, or if you have like way too many negative thoughts, that's when your body is going to contract, because you're sending like pain signals to your body, which sends pain signals to your brain, and it's a vicious loop that is not going to allow you to open up into the stretch. Inhale, lift up. In this position, if this is way too much, you can always put the block beneath your sit bones, and if you want a deeper stretch, you can put the block right here. Now, stand the legs right in front of you. Let's lay down in our back. From here, we're gonna go into a shoulder stand. So inhale with your legs straight. Now push, using the strength of your shoulders and your arms. Support your low back. Point your toes. Keep your legs straight. Extend through the lumbar spine. Keep your attention on your breathing. You can look at your belly button. You can look at your toes. You can close your eyes. You can release the hands if you want to. Now slowly bring your legs back towards the mat. Rounding your spine. Move side to side. Now a few options here. You can stay right here. You can grab your hands and add a little bit of spinal extension. So even though we're flexing from our hips right here, we're creating some extension in our spine, in our upper spine. But you can also be right here. So once again, it's almost impossible to isolate. Just find the position that feels the best for you in this moment. One day might be here, one day might be here, and one day maybe try to bring your knees towards the back of the room. You can place your hands or your fist to relax into the stretch. Slowly rock back to laying down. Now keep the left leg towards you, bend it towards you. Now twist it. In this position, I'm twisting from the outer hip, from my left outer hip. The knee joint is meant to do this. It is not meant to do this motion right here, and that's when problems happen. Our hips are supposed to be mobile, our knee is supposed to be stable, but if our hips are not mobile, then our knee becomes unstable, or mobile, and then is when it begins to actually like move in direction that it's not supposed to. But anyways, bend your knee, try to feel the stretch right here. Like when you're pushing it towards you, it's coming from here, it's not coming from the knee. If you feel any pain on this position, stop the position. Now use the right knee to push the left leg towards you by placing the knee on the lower portion of your shin. Put the left arm in the middle, the right arm outside the knee, and push it towards you. You can relax the neck. And if you want a little bit more stretch on the lumbar spine, you can round towards you. But if you want a little bit more stretch on the outer hip, then you push and at the same time you send the low back towards the mat, and you're really gonna feel it on the outer left hip. All the way into the psoas, piriformis, in your glutes. Let's add some movement to the ankle, going 5 to one side, 3, 1, now to the other side, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's switch. Before we switch, let's actually hug our knees together, rock side to side. Now extend the left leg, bend the right knee, and do the same thing. Right arm inside, left arm inside, push it towards you, relax the head. Once again, you can add a little bit of movement. You can work on flexing your spine, working on that low back, or you can work on pushing the low back towards the mat and using your hands to pull the right leg towards you. Let's add that movement to the ankle, to the right for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now to the left, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hug both knees together. Give yourself a little hug. Say thank you to yourself for being here, for showing up. Give a little massage to the lumbar spine by putting the lumbar spine into the mat. Bring both knees towards the left for a little final twist. Right arm is going to go across. Look at your right shoulder or your right arm. Go back to center. Now, both knees towards the right. And look at your left shoulder or left arm. Your hand can be extended. It can also be right here. To work a little bit on that stability of the rotator cuff, external rotation. You can also place a block beneath your knees if the twist is way too much. Keep your attention on your breathing. Close your eyes. Slowly come back to center. Extend both heels, feet to the corner of the mat. Find your Shavasana so you can relax into this stretch. Open your palms, open up. Close your eyes. Release anything. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So 3, 2, 1, inhale. Filling out belly. And exhale through the mouth. Let it out go. Once again, you can stay in this position for as long as you want. So there you have it, guys. This was mostly focused on flexion, as I said, and forward folding. Obviously, there are many positions that we didn't actually target, which we're gonna go more in later in the program. And obviously, we did some extension as well. Like I said, it's impossible to isolate your body when you're doing any type of movement practice, unless you're using weights and you're doing like bicep curls, which this is not the case. You can stay in meditation for as long as you want. You can do some sun salutations prior to this practice the next time you do it. You can increase the length of this practice if you feel like doing it. You can increase the holds. You can memorize the routine and then do it on your own. The yoga practice is very unique, and even though I'm giving you guidelines and follow along routines to follow, the ultimate goal is for you guys to create your own routine and know how to move in different days depending on how you feel on those days. So thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. Namaste.